Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It is June 3rd, 2024. Today we have an atmospheric river right at our door. It's already happening up in Stanley in the Sawtooths, but we have a flood watch in effect for those areas. We'll get into that more in a second. So we're going to see widespread rain and isolated thunder showers later this afternoon as a cold front passes through, enhancing both of those. It's going to be 10 degrees cooler, highs in the lower 60s, and quite windy with west to southwest winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour. Tomorrow it's going to clear out with partly sunny skies, highs in the lower 70s. We're going to start to see it increase each day with warmer temperatures. We're going to be in zonal flow, and we're still going to have some wind in the morning before it eventually dies down. So high pressure is going to be in the wake of the storm. That means fair, nice weather. And we're looking at seeing a heat wave Friday through the weekend with 15 degrees above normal for our temperatures. All right, looking around, this is not looking at temperatures this morning, but how much water we've already picked up. Haven't picked up much in the Wood River Valley. It looks like we have about 2 to 3/10 of an inch in Stanley, and more over to the west where it's been raining already. The front of the beginning of the storm is just making its way to the Wood River Valley. We're in a slight risk of a excessive rainfall outlook. You can see that just covers Ketchum, Sun Valley, but mostly up into the Sawtooths, and Stanley being kind of the bullseye for this storm. And with that, they've issued a flood warning again for the mountains west of Stanley and Ketchum. Galena Pass is in there, and so they're really worried about the creeks and tributaries overflowing their banks. So if you're going to be out hiking today in the Sawtooths, probably not the best day to go hiking. If you do go out there, if you know people out there, and avoid stream crossings because it's going to get pretty gnarly towards the end of the day. They're even talking about some chance of mud and rock slides. So these are areas that are typically prone to this, like Redfish Canyon has all those big boulders in the bottom of it. Some of those have come down with excessive flooding and other geologic events. But anyways, be on the heads up for that. If you do find yourself trapped because of the creeks getting too high, don't try to cross them. Wait until the waters die down. So it's, this didn't load. There we go. So it's currently raining at Redfish Lake this morning. You can barely see the Grand Mogul. The water is not very clear, and it looks pretty damp. All right, looking at the radar this morning, our center of the low is right here. We have a cold front that's going to be passing through today as well. Let me find my blue. And that cold front's right about here right now. And that's going to be coming from west to east and enhancing thunder showers and rainfall as well. But you can already see that we're picking up rainfall. In fact, let's take a look at the radar. All right, so we're here in Haley. You can see it's just starting to make its way to Haley, and I just showed you it's raining up in the Sawtooths. What's happening here is we're having a little bit of a radar shadow. So the further out that beam goes into the mountains, it's all the rain clouds below that beam, it's not picking that up. And that's kind of what's going on here. The storm isn't disappearing, it's just going underneath that radar loop. All right, let's look at the HER forecast. That's probably the most impressive thing to watch today. So like I said, it's already starting to rain here. It's just going to pick up throughout the day. You see lots of yellow as that cold front comes in, and really hammering down on the Galena Pass to the Sawtooth Range over into the White Clouds as well, getting the brunt of this atmospheric river that was hitting the Oregon coast. So when it's typically this far north on the Pacific coast, it's going to hit the northern mountains more than the southern mountains. And this is we're kind of towards the end of the atmospheric river season. I was reading that somewhere. That was kind of new to me that we have seasons, but that's pretty cool that we're still getting some rain because we haven't had much out of it at all this spring. And then we're going to be going into high pressure, so we're not going to really see much rainfall after that. We are going to see some enhanced thunder showers come out of this. This is going to develop towards later afternoon, where we're going to see 60 to 70% chance across much of the area. So be on the lookout for that. And here are the totals. So these haven't changed much. The bullseye has changed a little bit. It's kind of migrated a little further north, so it's barely catching the bench lakes. So not as much Redfish Canyon, but you can still see we're still in the yellow for most of this, and that's up to 2 inches of water. That's going to be falling on some snow as well, so that's going to be enhancing the melt process of that snow and adding to those creeks that are already flowing pretty well right now. And I forgot to mention this before. This isn't going to really affect. It'll add some rise to the Bigwood and the Salmon, but it's not going to have flooding really down on that riverfront. It's more the tributaries that they're worried about. All right, looking ahead, we are going into a heat wave over the next week. The good news is that we are seeing more above normal precip that wasn't in the forecast last week, so that's good to see. And that's not including this. This is looking out to the June 8th to the 12th. You can see temperatures are going to increase. This is for in Haley. We're going to get to the mid 80s by the weekend and looking fairly clear. It's going to be, after today, it's going to be a pretty nice week. And then this is looking for a bench NBM model. This has changed a little bit. This might just be because some of that rain has already fell. Yesterday we're calling for 2.3 inches. Now the total looks to be more around just below 2 inches. And I think that's because of that, just the shift and maybe the HER forecast. But we'll see what comes out of the storm. All right, I already hit my 8-minute mark here for anyone still listening. Here we're going to take a quick look at the GFS. Nothing too impressive besides this storm system that's coming through today. After we switch to this ridge, the upside down U, and that's going to dominate our area for quite a bit. California is going to see some record highs out of this storm, or out of this high pressure system. And then it looks like Monday might be our next chance, Sunday into Monday, next chance of some southwest flow, but looks pretty benign at this point and kind of in the far future cast distance. So we'll see what comes out of the storm. Be safe out there today.